You said something that a lot of people do not know. You said, hey, you have a 401k. You have a 529. But what is it invested in? And I think a lot of people don't know when they go in their jobs. Yeah, open up a 401k. Cool, great. The next question is, well, what is it invested in? What do you mean? I just open up the account. When people go into their jobs, is that something they should sit down with a financial advisor for? If they sign up for like your mentorship program, do you teach them, hey, here are the things that you should be investing in your 401k, into retirement funds? Because I think 75 to 80% of the people just open up the account and the money's just sitting there, but it's not invested properly.
I think in 20 years, 20 to 25 years, we'll look back and we'll say one of the biggest financial mistakes that this generation made was not having the appropriate investments, if any, in their retirement accounts. I think we've recently gotten informed to know the importance of having the retirement accounts, but there's still a gap in the education of having investments in those accounts. And I believe in 25 years, we'll be having a conversation on how, millennials and maybe even the generation after them, the major mistake that they made was not paying more attention to the investments that were in their retirement account. There are going to be people that are going to retire, and I've seen this happen. There are going to be people that are going to come to retirement, and they're going to say, wow, when I look at how much money I put into this account versus what it's worth now, there's not much growth.
Being invested right.
And it's because it wasn't invested right. So what people have to do, and look, I'll even, there's some consulting that our team is doing now. We'll even give you some feedback on that. So if anybody's interested, like find me through the links that we put in the call notes, and we'll help you with that. And we'll give you some guidance, give you some feedback on what you're invested in.
Yeah.
I did this for somebody that's a part of my community, and I just did it because they were in my class, they're in my community.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what I found.
What you found?
She, number one, she had 12 different investments, 12 different mutual funds in her retirement account, which is a lot.
12.
That's a lot. There were several where there was a lot of overlap.
Okay.
She had 3 or 4 bond funds.
Bonds.
And so bonds don't have a lot of return.
No.
You typically do have one in a retirement account.
Facts.
Maybe more if you're closer to retirement.
But it's
3 or 4 is too many.
Yeah.
And when I did a deeper analysis of looking at the returns and what I did for her, I was like, if you would have invested $1,000 in these mutual funds 15 years ago, how much would that $1,000 be worth today? There were only like 2 of them that actually made money. Yeah.
So would you say, because what I'm finding is a lot of people just do like, they'll open up a mutual fund that automatically, depending on who you're with, they'll just automatically put them into a target date fund.
Yeah.
And then those target date funds are not going to grow that much.
Yeah, you would like to think that's the solution. And it depends, right?
Yeah.
It depends on who your retirement administrator is. One of the funds that she was in was a target date fund, and the target date fund was one of the lowest performing investments.
Yeah.
So you have to look at it.
Yeah.
So what people need to do is they need to talk to an expert. They need to sit down with their retirement plan administrator if they can get a hold of them. Find a financial advisor to talk to. But like I said, just for your audience, I'm not doing this for everybody. For your audience, you send me a message, and we'll talk about what we can do in terms of giving you an analysis.
It's not free though, y'all. We're gonna pay him. All right, so whatever his fee is, Courtney's a solid man. He'll do it for free. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell y'all right now, don't waste his time. He got a whole family at the house. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful situation. Y'all gonna pay him for his time, right? That bothers me though, Courtney, when you say that, man.
And it's the same for 529 plans.
Facts.
Your audience know 529 plans because you preach it all the time.
Yep.
Some of these people they got the 529 plans, but they didn't select the right investments.
Right. And I think for me, what I'm trying to do is find the right people that people can go to, because I can tell you how I'm investing, but how I'm investing may look different for that person. And I think that's what's very, very important for you all to get with Courtney, to get with his team, to get with a financial advisor or a financial expert that can sit down with you and say, hey, for your situation and for your goals, here's the best way to invest, right? Because I just got into investing in a single stocks. I was a huge index and mutual fund guy, investing properly into those. But now that I'm secure in that area and that's building me very well, I was like, you know, let me go ahead and play around with the single stocks. Let me learn. And I've been learning from Courtney. I've been learning from my brother who's into the single stock world. Like I'm like, okay, I like it. I'd rather spend money over there than on something else luxury right now. But I think it's very, very important for us to really start teaching, okay, cool, now that you have these accounts, even into your Roth IRAs, again, that's just an account like you said. How do we just properly invest into it?
All right, fam, let's have a heart-to-heart. You all know that I'm all about helping you get your money. But let me ask you this question. How's your credit report looking? And if you're being honest and you're saying, you know what, Ayo, I need some help, well, listen, I got something for you. Listen, I know credit can feel like this big confusing thing, but with Kickoff, it doesn't have to be. They've designed a super simple, affordable way to help you build your credit, whether you're just starting out or need to bounce back from a rough patch. Here's how it works. Kickoff reports to the major credit bureaus to help you establish a positive credit history. And you can get started for as little as $5 a month. No credit check, no crazy interest fees at all, no hidden fees, so just a straightforward way to improve your financial standing. And here's why it matters the most, because it is not just about a number, it is about financial freedom and doors opening up for you. Do you want that dream apartment? Do you want lower car insurance and even better job prospects? It all starts with making sure you have a good credit profile. So don't wait. Head over to anthonyoneal.com/kickoff. That's anthonyoneal.com/KIKOFF and start your first month for just as little as $1. Listen, it's anthonyoneal.com/kickoff, KIKOFF. You get it for $1. Let's get you some lower rates, especially in 2025.
And what bothers me is, I won't say no names of the bank because I don't want to get in no trouble. And Courtney's on here too, so I don't want to get him in no trouble. But I'll never forget, I opened up a Roth IRA and account. They didn't know who I was, but I knew it. Do you know they never asked me, how do I want to invest it? They just asked me for the money and put the money inside the account and say, all right, it's open.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the banks don't even want to help me make the right moves. We need Courtney. We need Courtney. And y'all, we gonna have him on here every month. Here's the last thing I want to ask you, bro. And we'll get up out of here. If you had to pick one key metric or headline to watch over the next 60 days to understand where this is headed. Ashton, I got one more question after this too.
All right.
What would it be?
The headline is definitely tariff negotiations.
Okay.
That's the market. That's the market right now. So we're trying to figure out, people are concerned, consumer confidence is down.
Yep.
Okay, consumer confidence is down, that hurts the market.
Yeah.
So when we have these deals that are established, that helps us feel some level of security that inflation isn't gonna go higher, the stuff ain't gonna cost more. That is the headline.
Yes.
The headline is, have we struck a deal with China and Mexico?
Yeah.
That's the one you wanna follow.
That's what I'm doing. I use Google alerts. Anything that come up with tariffs, I get the alerts.
In the meantime, if any drama, all right, we had a little bit drama early this morning. It didn't really last long, but any drama, like, hey, buy you some stuff.
Come on, man.
Buy you some stuff.
Well, any new stocks you doing this right now? Is you watching right now?
Yeah, man. ETF that I really, really like. It's actually the ETF that my daughter bought.
Okay.
I think it was last week. It's the semiconductor ETF.
Okay.
It's SMH.
SMH, okay.
So
now explain ETFs for the people. They should know it, but explain it to them again.
Yeah, ETF, exchange traded funds. So this is a type of mutual fund. So there are a lot of companies that are going to be in there. But the advantage of ETFs is they follow some type of index. Okay. Right. Yep. So they don't have a lot of fees, basically. Yep. So we invest in ETFs because there's not a lot of fees. So there's not a lot of fees eroding our return. Mm-hmm. Okay. Really easy to get. You can buy them any day, right? Anytime. So we like ETFs a lot. You can have a $1 million portfolio with only ETFs and no individual stocks, okay?
And the return is good on those?
Return can be good if you get the right ones,
Yep.
right? Just like anything else, there's some good, there's some bad,
Yep.
okay? But I really like SMH right now. The reason why I like it is because it's a chip, right? Semiconductors are chips. So think about like, people know computer chips, but what we're really talking about today is like AI chips.
Yep.
And that industry is getting hammered right now because of the tariff talk. A lot of these parts do come from China. There's a lot of concern right now, and many of those stocks are already struggling.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a great time to buy them because the chips will power the future. Okay, we have to have them.
Yep.
Okay, we had to have them.
Yep.
So 20 years from now, we will still care about these companies, and there's so many of them that I like. There's not an industry where I like more individual companies than in the semiconductor industry. No other industry can I say I like 5 companies. Okay, but in this industry I do. So instead of me buying each individual stock, those 5 individual companies, I just buy the ETF. And I own all of them in there.